there is a woman out there listening to our voice right now that says, I have a healthy baby, a young mom, healthy baby, and a husband that loves me, but I am sad and I see only the dark side of life. Like a mom that's maybe going through this thing called postpartum depression, which I don't even begin to appreciate or understand what that must feel like, where everything in life is supposed to be right. This is supposed to be the happiest moment of my life, and it's slipping by me because I'm so sad.
Yeah.
And that mom is listening to us being like, why did God take my joy? Like, and I know that, again, you're not a therapist here, but as a woman who has two beautiful children, what do you say to that?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think part of it, so you're right. I do have two kids, but my husband and I have actually been pregnant 4 times. And so journey to motherhood, just in whatever way that looks for you, it's a journey and everyone's journey looks different. And so, yeah, I just have a heart for moms who feel isolated. And I think that's where, whether it's postpartum depression or, I remember a season even where it was like, hey, maybe you just have like the baby blues, or, you're just a little sad right now and it's normal. And I think like, while yes, like it is normal, your body goes through crazy stuff on that journey.
I'd say, yeah.
My oldest is 7. I very vividly remember sitting at the dinner table. We had just had a friend drop off a meal. I mean, it was a great meal, like kind of side perk to having community and,
do it for the casserole, people.
Yeah.
If you don't want community for any other reason, do it for the casserole.
And I was sitting at the table with Kevin. The baby was in the bassinet next to the table because, it's the first one. You never let them out of your sight.
Yeah.
And I just sobbed.
Oh.
And it was like, and in hindsight, that was 7 years ago. In hindsight, I'm like, oh my gosh, I probably looked like a crazy person.
Oh no.
But just sobbed. Oh. And it was like, oh my goodness, Kevin, this is our life now. Like crying babies, being exhausted. Like, remember 3 weeks ago when he wasn't here? Like that seemed really nice. Like I didn't know it was going to be like this. And I just remember in that moment, Kevin looked at me and was just like, it's going to be okay. We're going to go for a walk. We're going to clear our head. We're going to get some fresh air. We're going to come back in. We're going to start dinner over. And so I think part of it is, again, like, I don't know, you guys will hear me say this a million times. Like, we weren't meant to do it alone. You weren't meant to become parents by yourself. Like, there's a reason, like, the catchy, like, takes a village to raise a kid. Like, that is like proven.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really hard. I personally have never gone through an actual diagnosis of postpartum. But I think that it's a very real thing. It's really hard to do that alone. And so I think like starting the conversation, just with someone you trust, whether that's even your own physician or your spouse or I don't know, even in that moment, like Kevin didn't really know what to do.
Sure.
He just knew to show up. Yeah. And so I think, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
Our first was crazy colicky. Basically, anytime he was awake, he cried. Like they tell you, oh my gosh, your maternity leave is supposed to be amazing. And like, sure, we had those really sweet, cute, cuddly moments, but it was a lot of crying. Yeah. And so I knew that I had someone on speed dial when I just couldn't do it anymore. It was like, I need you to tap me out.
Wow.
And so, I think it's just not doing it alone.
So you actually had someone that was like, when you have become overwhelmed, and so you didn't have any facade. It was kind of like, when I become so overwhelmed, when it becomes emotionally too much, I'm phoning a friend.
Yeah.
That's vulnerability, because that does not match with the Instagram picture.
Yeah.
Of the mom in the white dress with the cool hat in the field with the lilies and the baby in the arms.
Yeah.
Like that what you just said there does not match that Instagram picture at all.
I just watched this movie last night with Solomon, and it was so good. Called, have you guys heard of this? The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse.
Good heavens, no.
Okay,
What is that?
It's a little animated film on Apple Plus, and it's really, whoever wrote it is brilliant in the way that they help give voice to emotions, and it's really written for kids. But I was sitting there; it was very meaningful to me. Well, one time there's this one moment where the boy's riding the horse, and the boy, he's looking for home, and these animals are kind of guiding him there. And he says to the horse, "What's the bravest thing you ever said?" And the horse thinks for a second, and he goes, "Help." That's what you're getting at.
Yeah.
I feel like, Joanna, what you're saying, which I think has almost kind of come up several times now, is so much of this is being courageous, and that does take courage to be vulnerable. And I read something recently that said, from the moment someone feels signs or symptoms or whatever it might be, or like even just wondering, am I having some mental health issues right now? Am I depressed? Am I anxious? Whatever. And the time they first saw about it, it's 11 years.
Wow.
So, and regardless of whether that's, I don't know how they define that, but my point is, it's probably a long, long time. And you don't have to do it alone.
Yeah.
And sometimes just getting it out, you realize this is normal. There's other people who have gone through this. It's when you do it alone, that you believe, it's so much easier to believe the lies.
And I think sometimes it's like you have an experience where it's like kind of that yellow flag moment where you're like, oh, wow, that actually was scary. I need help with this thing.
Yeah.
And so like, even in that season, like I didn't come out of the hospital with my like speed dial person.
Yeah.
But it's like funny, like, where we delivered our kids, like you have to watch the video that tells you about shaking baby syndrome.
Yeah.
And so like your new parents, you're, like kind of recovering, whatever, like figuring like, oh my gosh, we actually have like a living, breathing baby now. And you like watch this video and you have this moment where you're like, oh my gosh, how could anyone ever get to that point?
Yeah.
And then I remember being home literally 10 days later with a baby that didn't stop crying because we had no idea what colic was at the time. And you have that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, I wish this baby would stop crying.
Yeah.
And you have that moment where you're
Scary.
like, ooh, that was a yellow flag. Like, I didn't know I could feel like that.
And that's the moment to get it out.
Yes.
Because what we do in that moment is we convince ourselves, I should be able to handle this.
Totally.
I should be able to deal with this.
Yep.
I should be able to handle
That is
this.
the thing with everything with mental illness is I should be able to help. I should be able to help myself. I should pull up my bootstraps.
Yeah.
I should. And there's a shame.
Totally.
There's an absolute shame attached to asking for help.